What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Animal Crossing New Horizons. In the last episode, with Project K complete, we have been unleashed upon our own island. And all of a sudden, we have a whole lot of tools with which to, get a lot done. Now, I should probably address the elephant in the room right off the bat. A lot has changed between the last episode and this episode, but honestly, not a lot. Not really anything major, just me doing a lot of busy work for the most part. So I am currently in the process, after going over terraforming and all that stuff, I'm currently in the process of shaping my island a little bit differently. I should probably just give you guys the rundown really quickly. So I got rid of the top layer up here on the north end of the map. I have not touched the east side whatsoever. That's going to all get done a little bit later. I've obviously planted flowers down. I had Leaf come on Monday, and he brought me pretty much all of the flowers that I was still missing that I had not yet planted down. So I've got like pretty much every single kind growing right now. Hyacinth, pansies, mums, all of those are growing. And then obviously I still got my roses and tulips down that away where my house used to be. You can obviously see I have moved my house. Now, I said before, I wanted to give myself a lot of working space. And this is the main reason why. I just wanted to have a lot of space to crossbreed flowers so we can get multiple variants. Just kind of opening up the whole area around me so that I have a lot of space to put these in. But I'm not going to be using this space this way forever. It's just going to be for a little while I try to get every single possible crossbreed, probably for the next couple of months at least. I also, thanks to buying turnips from Daisy May on Sunday, she sent me bamboo shoots, which I use to plant these that are now growing into bamboo trees. Bamboo trees can be used to harvest bamboo, which you can use to make all sorts of different DIY patterns and whatnot, some that we actually already have. Those are going to probably be mature in the next couple of days. And what else was there? Oh, yeah, I still haven't actually sold my turnips because I got the fluctuating pattern again, and it hasn't been kind to me this time. I haven't gotten a single price above my buying price yet, although I'm supposed to in the next couple of days, but that's obviously not a guarantee. Also, notice that I did move the campsite up here, and all of a sudden there's all trees all over the place over here. Don't you worry. This is going to be more uniform in due time. I'm planning on putting like an orchard up here, and there's going to be a lot going on actually up here in this upper area, but it's obviously just going to take time to see it all through, and lots of bells. Let's head on down and let's go over a couple more things really quickly before I jump into the nitty-gritty of today's episode, because I'm sure a lot of people are like, wait, hold on. You probably changed, now that Project K is done, you probably had some things change. And I did, and we will go over those in a moment. Notice that the waterfall is now completely gone, so the river is just over here. There is no longer one going up towards where my house is. I actually might reconnect that later, but for right now, my main plan is to redirect the river even more so that it basically goes all the way through here and cuts right through where Angus's house is, and then makes its way down and connects somewhere over here. I don't want it connecting at this three-way over here anymore, which leads me to say that I'm actually probably going to end up getting rid of this bridge. It's only a 10,000 bell fee to do so. We just have to talk to Lloyd, which I think I'll just do it right now. So let's do that really quickly. Okay, never mind. It's not talking to Lloyd. I don't know why I thought that for some reason. I think that's because that's how it was originally, like in the early days. But no, you actually want to go over and talk to Tom and say that, hey, this bridge isn't actually working out, so we're just going to get rid of it. And I'm going to do that really fast here, so I'm not going to even bother showing this. And then I'll hit up the Nook stock, because I actually have a lot to go over today, and I want to take the time to do so and not spend too much time bogging you guys down with the menial stuff. So hang tight, and I'll be right out of Resident Services in just a moment. All right, so now that is taken care of, I also want to point out that I did also grab a moving kit to move Angus's house so that we can redirect that river, as I just said. I'll talk about this character in a little bit. Gonna have it hopefully move a little bit more over this way, and then I'll be putting the bridge in a different area. We're gonna put a few bridges over this river. I just want to really widen the space over towards Resident Services, because honestly, I would like to put most of the homes and all of the shops and whatnot over that way. I would like to have at least 6 homes crammed into that area, and I think we have, 3? Yeah, only 3 in that area, so I'm going to be moving some things around. Speaking of things moving around, you're probably going, what the heck? Wasn't Pinky just here not too long ago? She was, except she really didn't like it here, apparently, because within, 2 days of moving here, she was like, I don't know if I want to stay here. And I was just like, all right, fine. If you want to go, you may go. And, we have an empty plot once again. I told you guys not to get it too attached to her anyway. She probably wasn't going to be sticking around, not with Apple already kind of filling our Peppy quota. And Bill, is also finally moving in. As you can see here, the spot is reserved from Bill's new home. I told you guys I was going to invite him to the campsite a few times, and I did. And he is replacing Leopold, who I also was like pretty explicit about saying, hey, we're going to get rid of this guy. Speaking of new villagers, we haven't actually talked to Blair yet. Well, you seem well, don't you? Let's talk. One mustn't be afraid of a bit of wet weather. Just think of the rain as an excuse to accessorize. I mean, I guess so, if you mean accessorize into waterproof stuff. But, all right, let's talk about the new additional stuff that is incredibly important that we're going to want to mainly cover today. Now, it is the evening, and there are a few things that I want to cover in the evening, but we're going to go over these things one by one. First things first, when you have finished Project K and you are unleashed upon the main part of the game, you will be given access to these. Let's talk to you. Now, what have we here? Yours be a face I've not seen before. Name's Captain. What's yours? Levi, is it? Yar, that be a nice fancy name, that. Well, I came here to ferry folks on tours to various wee islands in exchange for miles. Might even take you where there be treasures. Or rare treasures, excuse me. Me tours go to places you can only reach with me boat. I can take you almost any time. Let me know when you're ready to set sail. And you know what? I am going to say yes to this. I'm ready to take a tour. It's 1,000 miles, so if you're really short on miles, this is probably something you won't want to do that often. But we are going to do it right now because I want to show how these work. And also, we're going to get ourselves a little song because Cap'n has a beautiful singing voice. You don't get seasick, do you? And here we are. Oh, we got a good one this time, too. Yar, we've arrived. This be your first boat tour, eh? Boat tour. The things you got to be mindful of for me tours be the same as for them fancy airplane tours. I'll spare you the long-winded explanation. I'll be here waiting for you when you're needing tools or you're not to sail for home. Okay, wow. I cannot believe my luck here. This is actually pretty incredible. I'm going to actually dig some of this stuff up just so that I don't have my money bags fall in the wrong place here. But no. Put that, no, away. Thank you. Holy crap, I cannot believe this. I mean, it's only 1,000 bells per, but it's still money, and I will absolutely take free money. Okay, so let's talk about Cap'n Boat Tours and how these all work. It's very simple. These are kind of an alternative to your standard Nook Miles tour, but there are some exclusive things that can only be gotten on these tours. Different items, you can run into different patterns as far as the tours, and there are actually a lot fewer variants on these boat tours than you will find on, let's say, Nook Miles Islands. So you have a much better chance of actually getting something good out of these, but the downside is that you can only do one of these boat tours per day. You can't just spend Nook Miles in perpetuity hoping that you actually get something good out of it. It doesn't work that way. Now, this is the Money Island. There are a lot of these that are actually themed around gyroids, which I will be talking about a little bit later. Gyroids were a staple of early Animal Crossing and weren't really used all that much in the later Animal Crossings, but were brought back with the 2.0 update. Gyroids are little musical creatures, much like Lloyd, the guy who is building our bridge. And I already know this, but gosh dang it. Much like the guy who is building our bridge, and they will sing little songs, and they will also synchronize to the music if you have them in an area where music is playing. And overall, they're just kind of cool little creatures that you can go and find. But, hold on. Oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting to run into this guy here. I don't know why I wasn't. I was going to get to that. We'll talk about that in a second. My gosh, I'm totally getting scatterbrained here. What was I even saying? Anyway, so gyroids, they can be actually planted in the ground and grown in much the same way a flower is. They will go into little spots, not unlike fossils, and you can find gyroids and gyroid fragments. Gyroids themselves, obviously, are, they're full gyroids, fully fledged. You can just use them as is. It isn't really all that complicated. So you just pick them up and put them where you want, and they will do really cool things for you. Gyroid fragments, on the other hand, have to be buried in the ground. They will look much like fossils or anything else that you've buried in the ground, and you have to water them. And watering them will actually cause them to grow into a specific type of gyroid the next day. So you can kind of make your own little farm of them, although they're not really that hard to upkeep. I'm going to go for this fish because I just got a hunch about this little guy. Hold on. I say little, he's big. He seems interesting. And yes, we will talk about this character in a second. Oh my goodness. Nope, I had a bad feeling. Dude, every time, man, these black basses, I swear, they get me worse than the sea basses in this game, because at least with the sea basses, I generally know to avoid those shadows because they're so unbelievably obvious out in the ocean, but the black bass, man, they mess me up constantly, especially because there's so many fish that share the same size shadow. Yeah, anyway, that's a big focus of these islands. You can also get really rare gyroids on certain islands that are also... That one looks a lot bigger. That one looks a lot bigger. Am I crazy for thinking this one looks a lot bigger? Okay, let me try. Hold on. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a big one. Let's see what we got. Heck yeah! Caught myself another Arapaima. I will absolutely take that. Thank you very much. That one's staying with me. Okay, anyways, continuing on. So another really cool thing about the Cap'n Boat Tours is you can actually run into islands that have a different season from you, which will allow you to get bugs and fish from that season. Banking on these, not the best thing, but you're obviously going to want to take advantage of these if you ever get the opportunity. The other problem is that the time is kind of fixed on whatever island you land on. Notice how when I stop, the clock isn't popping up. It's incredibly fixed on these islands, so if you come here in the day and it's still daytime on the island, you can't catch any nighttime anything during that season, and vice versa. Sometimes you will also just go on islands that are at a completely different time from you. Like you will come to one that's just straight up always at nighttime, and then when you leave, you can go back to whatever time you're at. A lot of just interesting variants that you are not expected to find on Nook Miles. It's more the circumstances that change on, and the atmosphere that itself that changes on Cap'n Boat Tours, as opposed to Nook Miles Islands, where it is more just a layout and then a gimmick, if that makes sense. So, in a way, they're cheaper. They're more predictable, and they can be more useful, at least at first, but eventually I feel like the Cap'n Boat Tours actually lose their luster because they don't have anything extreme, like, let's say, the Scorpion or Tarantula Island on the Nook Miles that can just net you tons and tons and tons and tons of bells. No pun intended when I said net there. Okay, so, next thing to talk about. Blathers is in search of somebody named Brewster. He has given me a picture, which I cannot drop here, unfortunately, but he wants us to go find him. I should have shown this before I went on the boat tour, but I did not, and I apologize. I'll get to show it later. Spoiler alert, this guy right here, this is Brewster. Okay, you're not going to be running into villagers out here that are looking for plots. They're not on the Cap'n Boat Tours. They're only on Nook Miles Islands. Let's talk to this guy. Cool. You out here looking for gyroids too? That's right. I hope you find a gyroid. Let's talk again. Do you know a Brewster? Do I know a who? Cool. You're looking at him. Mind if I ask what you're after? Blathers sent me. So Blathers knows this guy Brewster that he used to work with a very long time ago. And Brewster is, well, the runner of a coffee shop. And he was thinking, or Blathers was at least thinking, that it might liven up the museum just a little bit to have a place to chill out, hang out, have a cup of coffee, and bring more people into the museum so they actually have a reason to go beyond just looking at the exhibits. So let's tell him. I see. I hear you. Tell him that for me. Oh, and also... Oh, thank you. This is yours if you want it. It's a gyroid fragment. Plant it in the ground. Give it some water and some time. It will grow up strong the next day. Gyroids take root fast when you return them to the ground. Well, thank you, Brewster. Well then, be seeing you. And that is kind of the main reason to go on your very first tour. Can you not walk right over this spot so I can dig that up, please? Thank you. And look at that, another gyroid fragment. We will take both of these back, let them grow, and then we will see what they turn into. All right, let me shake this sucker really quickly. And oh my gosh, there's so many fish shadows here. Goodness me. I think I need to catch a couple of these because my goodness, these guys look huge. I mean... No, never mind. Those are both black basses, probably. I was looking at them a little closer, and you know what? Those shadows might not be as big as I thought. Okay, if I wanted to, I could also bring back some of these shrubs. Right here, you can just dig these up, no fruit required. You can and then bring them back fully planted. I'm actually going to do that. You can obviously buy these from Leaf if you so desire. These are the ones that are actually in season here in the summer, but they will just look like regular bushes once the season ends and the flowers go away. So that is something to keep in mind. Okay, I got 3 pinks and 2 blues, or 2 blue, purple, violets, whatever. I think those are violet. I'm going to pick up at least 1 more of those. And then I think I'll be happy, and then we can head on back. Cool. All right. Oh, well, I guess there's another one over there, isn't there? All right. I guess I'll go get those 2 also. Just, to have 4, I feel like that's a pretty even number between the 2 of them. And then, bring all those back, and we should be good. But I'm not going to deprive you guys of Cappen's heading back song because it's an absolute masterpiece. So I want to at least show that off before we make it all the way. And we are going to be taking another trip today, by the way. We're not just taking this boat tour, because I have something else that I'm going to need to show you guys. So let's head on over. And I'm sure people are probably thinking, why didn't you just record this the day after those events? Well, it's because I wanted to get the ball rolling on a whole lot of things. And, aside from showing the boat tour and aside from showing this next thing, there wasn't really anything else left for me to show. So I wanted to combine this into a much bigger episode. So let's head back. I do have my booty with me. I know what he meant. That was obviously a joke. You got anything good today? I want to show one more thing, by the way. Yep, you can clap every single time you hit the A button. If you want to try to clap in time, that's always fun. Sometimes I just like to mess with Cap'n and do it a bunch, too, because that's also hilarious. Yeah, good job, Cap'n. Very proud of you. Back we go, and back into the rain, unfortunately. All right. Cool. So, now with that done, I am going to not hit the camera, because that's always my first instinct for some reason. I am going to... Oh, well, I'm actually kind of glad I caught a black bass then for that exact reason. Okay, there's a few things I'm going to have to do for Nook Miles, which I will do later. I thought there were Nook Miles associated with the boat tours, but I guess they never retroactively added any of that stuff, did they? I guess that makes sense. Okay, so back we go. Our next stop is actually going to be my mailbox, so I'll see you all there in just a second. Okay, and I want to show off a letter that we got here from Harvey. Hey, Levi, how's Island life been treating you? Groovy, me too. There's a little something I want to tell you about it, though. I'll be waiting here on Harv's Island. Harvey, or Harv, or Vey. All right, so that sounds like we need to head to Harv's Island to stat. So... let's head on over to the airport, and we'll just immediately go there. In fact, I'm not even going to waste your guys' time. I'll just meet you over at Harv's Island in just a moment. Dodo has landed. All right. Off we go, right? Well, hold on. Harvey is AWOL. Not like him to abandon his post, or do much of anything, really. Except, there's a new path over there. Land-based recon's not my area, so it looks like it's up to you. All right, well, wish me luck then, Wilbur. Hopefully we're not about to get ganked out here. Well, hold on a second. What the heck's going on up here? So, did you get the little note I sent you? Well, you must have, since you're here. I'm so excited to share this with you. This right here is going to be the heart of our new collective. I've really put my soul into this. But I've had plenty of help from all kind of folks along the way, like my old pal Harriet here. We go way back. You can call her Hattie for short if you want. They most certainly cannot call me that, Harv. Only you can call me that. Sorry, sugar. I'm Harriet. It's nice to finally meet you. I've heard all about you from Harv here. Well, there you have it. So where was I? All right, my dream collective. Well, this is what I envisioned as the heart of the movement, a central plaza filled with co-ops. Now, here's the business part, where it gets kind of ugly. I hate even talking about bells, you know? But as a co-op can't build itself without a little cooperation. So I think the best idea is have a little fundraiser. Every time we raise enough capital for a co-op, we get a new one going. Golly, did I just say capital? Well, I suppose that's my sales pitch. Sorry, I never was cut out for sales, but I'd be mighty grateful if you were interested in helping us realize this dream, even if it's only a little bit at a time. Every little bit helps. Leave it to me. Oh, that's great. Out of this world. I could count on you to help me, Levi. I actually got another old pal to volunteer as well. You know my buddy Lloyd, don't you? Well, he was so kind as to reach out to some of his pals, also named Lloyd, and they'll all be volunteering. So when you're ready, just go ahead and talk to any old Lloyd about which co-op he's collecting for. Feel free to explore the area, meditate, or snack on some vegan pumpkin nochi if the mood strikes. Thanks again for helping us, and I'll see you around. Okay, so now we get to explain something I am incredibly excited to get the ball rolling on, and then that is, of course, the remainder of what Harv's Island is all about. Honestly, Harv's Island didn't really have a lot going for it until the 2.0 update, and this was all introduced, but this is kind of a throwback to something that Harv hosted back in New Leaf. He was able to invite and set up specialty shops for people to visit, but with this, we get specialty shops, but all the time on demand, which is incredibly awesome. So let's start by talking to one of these Lloyds. Hello, good friend. We are accepting donations to fund a dapper dealer of fine shoes and handbags, boss. Our goal is 100,000 bells. Currently, we have 0 bells in donations. We still need 100,000. Okay, so this is where we can get into the nitty gritty of this. So I believe, and I'm going to try to remember this exactly and how this all works and who goes where, but each one of these Lloyds is taking 100,000 bells. I think it's 100,000 bells exactly. They might be a couple that are a little more than that. So they are going to set up permanent shops for all of our other vendors to access, even if they're not on our island. This one right here will be Leaf. This one right here is Red. This one right here is Kix, and I don't know why I couldn't remember his name. This one over here, I believe, is a character we have not met yet named Katrina. This one is Sahara's stand, so she'll sell your carpets and wallpapers. This right here is a storage option. We'll talk about that character in a little bit. And this one right here is actually characters we've already met at this point, and their specialty is customizing furniture that you cannot otherwise customize via the DIY workbench. Like I said, we've met these characters before, but we're going to want to get a hold of them a little bit later. So it is a total of 700,000 bells to get every single one of these running, and it is going to take some time to do so. This is obviously incredibly important, and we're going to want to work on it. But right now, I have 100,000 and 104,000 bells, which is cutting it really freaking close. But you know what? I'm about to sell all my turnips soon, so here's what I'm going to do. Hello, good friend. We are accepting donations to find a legitimate art dealer. Our goal is 100,000 bells. We need 100,000. If you can spare a single bell, that'd be great. Sure, I will help, and I will absolutely be using the full amount. All yours. Yes, we are going to get Red here first, mainly because I want to have access to art as much as possible. Now, here's the one catch with these things. You might be going, oh my gosh, I got to view their products every single day. Yes and no. So the inventory that they have here at Harv's Co-op is going to be different from the inventory they have if they visit your island, which is good because that gives you multiple ways to get different things. However, if you come here on a given week, let's say, and any of them are selling something, that's it for the whole week. Monday through Sunday, you are only going to have the option to buy the same things from them. The one exception actually is Red, but the only way you can actually get him to change his inventory is if you clean out his inventory. And given that you can only buy one thing a day, that's going to take a while. So, like, let's say you come in here, you buy a painting from him, of which he will have, I think, a painting and a sculpture. It's always a smaller inventory than what he usually brings as well. If you buy one, he will then replace it, but the odds that it is a legitimate one, counterfeit, you never really know what it's going to be. So yeah, you're kind of just stuck with what their inventory is for that week. However, if they visit your island, that will change. So that day, it will be something different. And of course, because they're at your island, they will not be here. So you will not be able to buy from them here, which obviously makes sense. You can't like double dip or anything. And they can't be in two places at once. So that pretty much signifies the co-op. There is actually one more shop that will set up once we have this entire thing done, but it is going to take a little bit of time to get to that point. So with Red set up, let's head back, and I'm going to go check my turnip prices right off the bat because I am very curious to see if I can finally offload those things. If I get a single price over 100 at this point, because I think my maximum possible is like 128, I'm just going to immediately sell because I really could use the money. And yeah. All right, so I'm going to go and put down a few of the things that I've grabbed up in my big open area, because that is now a very convenient spot to store things. And including, I'm actually going to put Angus's house up there as well. We'll check the prices here in just a second. So I'll actually meet you back here by the shop in just a moment. Okay, there we go. Now we got 2 gyroid spots, and see how there is a little bit of smoke coming out of each of them? That means that they have been properly watered, and that is obviously being done by the rain. I didn't have to do that myself, so nice opportunity to take advantage of that. So tomorrow I will be checking on those and seeing if those are actually full-fledged gyroids, which they should be. So there we go. Now, obviously, a couple things I want to point out here. You probably noticed I did kind of leave where my house was almost exactly. I need to move and migrate all this stuff up there, which I will in due time. Still working on getting all of these planted. I actually think I might move a villager up into this area just so that they have a lot of flowers around them, which might cause them to water them a lot. I'm probably going to actually put Marina up there just because I've noticed that normal personality ones tend to do the most flower watering. So I think I'm going to give that a shot. All right, let's head on into Nook's Cranny. We still have a few things left to do today, so I got to get to each and every single one of those. Yeah, this is already turning into somewhat of a long episode. All right, let's see your turnip prices, boys. 115, more than good enough for me. I am going to go and collect those, and I will be right back in just a moment. So unfortunately, we're not turning a huge profit, but it is a profit nonetheless, so I'm just going to cash out because the odds of it going higher than that are very, very slim. So let's just get all of these turned in, and I will also sell the weeds and flour with that as well, but I'm actually going to hold on to the Arapaima. Perfect. All right, how much are we going to get? And 287,000 bells. So like I said, not a huge profit. I think we got like a net gain of only like 40,000 or something like that, but a gain's a gain, and also it does continue to help us on cornering the stock market. So there we go. Boom! 1,000 more miles for me. I will absolutely take it. Hey, you ever wanted a pet hamster while also having a hamster on your island? That's not weird. You can buy one right here. Let's actually do that because it's hilarious. Apple, don't come into my house, okay? Like, just... She probably can't hear me. Whatever. Let's get out of here. All right. So, next stop. We got still a couple more things left to do. We're going to go and report back to Blathers now about our Brewster situation. And I'm wondering if I can actually... Can I show the photo here really quickly? Let's see. Place item. That was anticlimactic. Turn it around, please. There we go. Oh, and there's him actually in his barista garb. I like that. Okay, cool. So, looks like we're going to have to... Yeah, let's head on in here. And I mean, I really wish I had shown that picture before we went on that miles drive. I feel really dumb about doing that, but let's go and say hello. Ooh, are you still searching for that certain coffee curating Columbide, by which I mean Brewster? Yep, I found our Columbide cornered. Ooh, and allow me to add hoot. Why, that is simply wonderful news. Do tell, what did he have to say? He said, I hear you. Oh, that's simply marvelous news. What a relief. That Brewster is a punctual and precise fellow, so I expect to make his way here forthwith. What I suppose that means. Oh dear, I must make arrangements for his arrival straight away. Whew. To that end, I'm afraid I'll need to close the museum to all visitors tomorrow for construction. If everything goes as planned, we shall reopen the day after next with cafe service in place. It is my sincere hope that you will join us for a cup of joe on that date. All right, sounds good to me, Blathers. Not that there's anything I need to donate at the moment anyway. In fact, for the most part, I kind of have June cornered when it comes to the stuff that I need to get. However, and as I point out the dates, it is the 26th of June, so we only have 4 days left in the month. There are still a couple of things I am missing from this month that go away once July hits. And I'm going to need to make sure that I actually go out of my way to catch those. Some with more urgency than others. The main ones are actually the fish, and we will be talking about those. And we're going to be probably hunting them specifically in the next episode. So bear with me on that. But there was one announcement that happened today, and I know I didn't show Isabel's announcement at the beginning of the episode. There was a good reason for that. It was mainly just because I started the day a lot earlier and then skipped ahead. She only had one thing to say, and that is that June 26th in particular is... And let me see here. Oh gosh, do I dare? You know what? No, I'm not going to be that cruel. Hang tight. Okay, anyways, as I was saying, and you can see I've changed up a little bit, today is actually Marina's birthday. So let's head on inside. I already got her a gift all put together, so we're going to go say hello and give her well wishes. Oh, and look, Angus is here. Probably a good thing while he's moving, too. Levi, did you come to celebrate with me? That's so sweet. Let's talk to her. Oh, she's such a cutie. Welcome to my birthday party. I'm so grateful for every friend who stopped by and surprised by how generous they've been. I've already gotten so many great unexpected gifts. Oh, no pressure or anything. I do have something, actually. Here. You can actually give her anything you want, but I prefer to give her something wrapped. For me, really, this is so exciting. So I'm bringing a bowler hat with a ribbon. There you go. The gift made me so happy. Aw, I'm so glad. Yay! So birthday is just a cute little moment where, you know, all the characters dance around. You get nice little music. I wish could we cut into the cake? I'd like to cut into the cake. That'd be awesome. But no, it's kind of more just like this, like characters dancing around, having a good time. Your birthday is actually a little bit more eventful when we actually get around to that, although that's not going to be for a little bit. But you get a little, you know, Nook Miles for celebrating a birthday with your villagers. And you can see up here, you get up to 10 to get to the next level. And I think the last one is 50. So lots of birthday celebrations. You're going to want to make sure to get those Nook Miles, you go over and give a gift and, you know, make every single one of your villagers feel happy. I'm so lucky to be able to spend my birthday with friends. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Marina. Angus, how you feeling? Look at that. You see it, right? Just look at that big old grin on Marina's face. Seeing someone having that much fun is enough to make even an old cuss like me smile. Come on, let's celebrate. Oh, that is adorable. I'm in my diary every day, and I feel like I'm going to need a lot of pages to write about this party. Oh, she's such a sweetheart. Oh, I'm so happy for her. This is so great. Oh, absolutely adorable. I think there is, in fact, a reaction that we can get where we can actually do the dance with them, which is great, too. But unfortunately, I don't think I have access to anything like that yet. And also mainly just because I'm missing a lot of them. I mean, I've only got the basic 8 at the moment. I can get more of those from Nook Miles, but unfortunately, I do not have, or I'm not willing to spend those Nook Miles just yet. But yeah, really cute, really adorable party. And if you leave... oh, I hate to see you go. I just have to say again, that gift you brought really made me happy. Aw. She's such a sweetheart. I'd love to stay around the whole time, but there's not really a whole lot going on in that house, unfortunately. And there's still a couple more things in this episode that I have left to cover. All right, well, now that we're all dressed up and whatnot, let's head back on over this way, and we're going to take care of 2 more things. The first of which is to finally address the new character that is sitting in our plaza right now, so let me do that. Hello, ma'am. Why, hello, I'm Label, or Labelle, the fashion designer. I'm not sure if you've heard of me. I mean, I only recently decided to become an independent designer, so you might say I'm still in training. That's why I'm traveling to lots of different places. I want to see and learn about as many styles as I can. In fact, I wonder if maybe you might help me with a little style exercise. It goes like this. I'll call out a specific fashion theme, and then you change into an outfit that matches that theme. You'll have to model it for me, of course, but I'll give you a gift for your trouble. Sure, why not? Wonderful, thank you so much. Let's get to it. I'd like you to show me an everyday outfit. You know, something you'd wear on any ordinary day. Try picking out simple yet stylish clothing you can wear. I mean, I would honestly say what I'm wearing right now is perfect, but we'll see what she gave me. It's a collarless shirt. All you have to do is keep this piece in mind as you put together an everyday outfit. Let's see the juxtaposition, because I feel like what I'm wearing right now is a little bit more like business casual. So let's see here really quickly. Not the crossbody bag. Let's see. I mean, it's basically the same gist as what I was already wearing. It really is. I mean, it's still a button-up. It's just that this one has a collar. I could try the clothing that I have. The problem is that it's not always dead on. Let's say, sure, of course. Let's see it then. I see. Wonderful. That's it. Exactly. Oh, perfect. Cool. Combination of clothing radiates that perfect everyday look. There's just so much I can learn from your sense of style. Thank you. Literally the clothes I walked up to you with. Take Taylor's ticket to the tailor shop and exchange it for an item that costs 3,000 bells or less. Now, you can't use it at Timmy and Tommy's shop. Still, I hope you use it to buy something nice for yourself. I'll send my gift to you in the mail, so be sure to look for it there. And please take this, too. I made it with my own 2 paws. Now, this is what I'm really excited for, is this. A Labelle knits shirt. You see? I hope you like the look. It's a design for my fashion label. I mean, my label is new, so it's not famous yet. It's called Labelle. I used to go by that name when I first set out to be a designer, but these days I'm using my real name, Label, while Labelle lives on in my fashion label. Oh, I hope that's not too confusing. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you for being so very helpful. So, every single time she comes, and if you manage to match her theme, you have the chance to get something from her design set. Now, this pattern right here is basically the gist of what it's going to look like. You can get it in different colors, but for the most part, I think it's like red, purple, I think there's blue, all that sort of stuff. But the little symbols that are on it, and I wonder if I can actually show this really quickly just by zooming in a little bit. Yeah, so here we go. Let's go into the camera really quickly, and then we can take a look at it. So that little symbol right there on the shirt, that is all over her label set. So you're going to want to try to get every single one of them. I think there's like a total of something like 12 items in all. So every single time she comes here, make sure that you take care of this and say hi to her. Otherwise, you're going to be in for some trouble. Okay, I really need to catch this thing. I'm getting super distracted by this because it is driving me nuts, and I need to have it. Come here, you. Yeah, got it. That's a newbie right there. We caught ourselves an Atlas moth. These are incredibly skittish, incredibly rare, and only found at night. It is also one of the bugs that I definitely wanted to catch here at this time of day. Ignore my pile of bugs over here. Those are for another purpose later. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with being able to get more of the set, so that's pretty awesome. And does that pretty much cover everything? I guess there's one more thing I can show before we call this an episode, and then I'm going to go over how the next or the between episodes is going to shake out, and then how the next episode is going to shake out, because there are a couple of things left for us to do. All right, so I'm going to head on in here, and I'm going to redeem some Nook Miles. So one other new thing that was added in the 2.0 update and is now available now that we are finished with Project K is this. Be a Chef DIY Recipes Plus. Redeem 2,000 miles. Let's do it. Order's been processed. All right, let's see what we get out of this. Because something we have not been able to do up to this point, you can see now we also have the little recipe symbol next to it. Your app has been updated. Thank you for using the Nook Stop. And there we go. Okay, so not only can we create furniture and all sorts of various items, but we can also create recipes. We can cook. We can make grilled sea bass with herbs. We can make pancakes. We can make tomato curry. I can even make myself a big stonework kitchen with a lot of stone clay and iron nuggets so I can cook that. Although seems kind of like an outdoorsy thing, but I guess I could put one in my house if I went for a certain rustic look. You got carrot potage, pumpkin bagel sandwiches, and I can also make sugar and flour, but I need certain vegetables to do so. And so far, the only thing that Leaf has sold me is wheat to make flour with. So this is going to be something that we're going to have to work on in due time, but you can absolutely fill out your recipes and make all sorts of delicious things through the app now, which is really awesome. The only problem with this, and this is kind of one of the reasons I would say generally wait before you buy this upgrade unless you really want to get to cooking now, which I kind of do, but I would say wait for a couple of reasons, and the main one is once you buy that, now your message bottles that you find every day and that you find on Nook Miles Islands and on Cap and Boat Tours and stuff like that, they are going to be absolutely filled with recipes now, which is going to make it really hard to continue to get your DIY recipes. You're just going to be getting a whole lot of stuff to cook, which is cool and all. But the problem is that for aesthetic purposes, cooking doesn't really do anything for you. In fact, it's just kind of a cute little activity that you can add on to. Which, don't get me wrong, it's fun, and it's awesome, but it's not like something that you're going to be filling your house with, if that makes sense. At best, you're going to be putting it on a couple tables here and there, or next to your kitchen, just to sort of add some spice and some flair. So, yeah, it's really, really awesome, and I think it's a nice addition to the game, but I also would say that it's a bit more optional than the DIY crafting side of things. Okay, before we call this an episode, there is a couple things I want to go over, and also I'm going to this is kind of a segue from the DIY recipes thing, but up here, these are wheat starts, speaking of what I got from Leaf, and I put down 12 of them. And I wanted to put them in this pattern in particular so that they're easy to water, but they're being automatically watered today. This is where we talk about crops, okay? Crops are something that you're going to need to tend to very regularly if you're going to want to if you want to have a lot of them. You need to water them every single day to get their max yield value. If you do not water the crops whatsoever, when they fully grow, they will only give you one a piece. So like the wheat right here, I will only get one wheat a piece once this is fully grown. But because I have now watered it for 2 days in a row, when it is all said and done, it should be up to 3 wheats per square. So I should be getting a grand total of 36 wheat out of this harvest. Now, the catch here is once you harvest the wheat, you're going to want to make sure that you go right back to watering them again because they're going to continue to grow over and over again. This is how crops work. I'm going to be putting a lot of little crop fields around my house as we continue to get more from Leaf because there are many different kinds that we're going to need for those recipes. So that is something that we're going to also be actively working on for the next little while. Now, as for what I am going to be doing in the next episode, and as for what I'm going to be doing between episodes, it's very simple. But mainly the next episode. Let's talk about that really quickly. So I said before, June, I am still missing a couple of critters in the Critterpedia, I believe from all three of these. So first things first, there are 3 deep sea creatures that I am missing. In fact, all of the 3 that are going to go away once June rolls over are ones that I have not caught. So it's the chambered nautilus, the firefly squid, and the lobster. Now, 2 of those are because I just haven't been deep sea diving at night at all, and they both appear in the evenings. Well, the nautilus in particular appears after 4 p.m., but the firefly squid, which I'm missing, doesn't start appearing until after 9 p.m. So that's going to be a main focus. The lobster can appear all day. It's just extremely rare, so I'm going to have to spend a lot of time looking for that. Next, we have June bugs, and there are actually 2 in particular that I'm missing that are both really obtainable, but again, I've just been looking at the wrong times. One of these is the firefly. The firefly can only be found after 7 p.m., so about right now. Unfortunately, though, it's raining, which I do believe makes that harder to find. They're not super rare. They're actually extremely common. Again, I just haven't been looking at the correct times. The other one is called a violin beetle. Now, these can only be found on the stumps of trees, which I obviously haven't cut any down, so I'm going to need to go get myself a regular axe, cut some trees down, and basically just walk around in circles until I see a violin beetle appear on one of those. They are not the only bugs that can be caught on stumps, but they are one of them, and again, they're going to be leaving after this month, so I really need to focus on catching those. There are, I believe, 2 fish that I am missing as well, and again, these are both evening fellas. One of them is the cherry salmon, which can be found after 4 p.m. This is usually found on cliff tops, so on the eastern side, where I have that river and the waterfalls there, that's going to be the main place to find it. There is another fish, however, that can be found at the exact same time, under the exact same circumstances, with the exact same shadow size, and that is correct me if I'm pronouncing this incorrectly, but I believe it's char, not car. I believe it's char. The char is a little bit bigger, a little bit rarer, a little bit harder to find, and overall is going to be a little bit more time-consuming to probably catch. But these are all things that I'm going to need to be going after, so what I'm going to be doing is essentially dedicating an episode to just hunting all of those things down as we sort of round out our, again, just our Critterpedia for the month of June. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be doing this tomorrow just because, the museum's closed, so there's not really a whole point in doing that. I'm probably going to focus on this on, I'm thinking probably Saturday, I think would be the best. And that should be the last episode of June before we move on. But between episodes, I'm going to continue working on flower crossbreeds. I'm going to continue on moving things around. I'm going to get that river right through the area where I originally had Angus's house at, or he is currently at, but we'll be moving away from here soon. And I'm going to start just sort of repositioning things while also getting myself another bridge built, even though I canceled this one, so we can finally have all of this connect. But this will be after I redirect the river, of course. So that'll be the main focus. And then, of course, just, getting Nook Miles and whatnot, because I do need a whole lot more of those. So, guys, that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Animal Crossing New Horizons. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this episode very, very much. And I will see you all in the next one. Well, there's one down.